clear, simple, but powerful message. Right? There must be another way.
Thank you.
And so let's talk about that. You know, Amy talked and opened about this nation-state bill that is on so many people's minds, so disheartening, so worrisome. What's the other way?
You know, there's only so much we can do in a situation where we have the Knesset that we have and the majority that we have. We can protest, we are protesting, but our job, our major job, and this is where the New Israel Fund comes in big time. Right? So not only to protest against, and of course I was so happy to, as you said, as was mentioned, to participate in the big rally against the nation-state law, but the greatest opposition is what you do on the ground, which means that a law could say Arabic is second rate and this is second rate, but when people work on the ground and collaborate together to empower each other, that is the greatest opposition to this kind of thing. De facto, strengthening civil society and the way that people live together, making sure that people have equal opportunities every possible way, making sure that there are as many situations as possible, or opportunities for people to meet each other and learn about each other and know about each other, to mitigate the fear, where people start feeling that they're one society, one community, one people, the Israeli people. And when we strengthen that thing that is called the Israeli people, not the Jewish people or the Palestinian people or the Arab people, the Muslims, or whatever, the Israeli people, the state of Israel and its citizens, when we strengthen that, we are demonstrating against the nation-state law. The law can be in the because what's the biggest damage of these things? And this is the trick used by, I have to say, Netanyahu and his cohorts all the time. They wave flags or say things or do things that will instill fear in people's hearts, that are insightful, that give hatred the backwing that it needs in order to leap on us and make us violent towards each other, make us angry, make us frustrated, make us a violent society. And they do that like this. Netanyahu is an incredible master at it, just flipping those rabbits out of his hat right and left. And I say, okay, if he's going to do that, then we have to be there to counter him. How do we counter him? Not only, of course, by writing things on social media, et cetera, but by doing the work on the ground that will prove to the person in the street, any person, that there must be another way, and that there is another way, and that we can create that other way. And that's why I'm such a strong believer in the New Israel Fund and everything they do. Because the organizations supported by the New Israel Fund are the ones that will be there for the elderly, for the school children, for women, for in the villages, in the cities, making sure that another thing happens, that another wind is blowing in our streets and in our hallways, that something else is put in people's hearts. And that is so infinitely important. And it's much harder. Of course, it's much easier to destroy and say, when you're prime minister, and say a sentence on TV that will then have everything collapse in a second, people's trust collapse in a second, and then we have to be there to rebuild and rebuild and rebuild, indefatigably rebuild, because otherwise, really, we live in darkness, and it's our responsibility to generate that light all the time.